We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Yesterday we heard persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikunthas. Means lack of sukriti. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the controller of all living entities. I remember now when we brought one document about our Gopal institution here in Slovenia to Gurudev to sign as a president or as a founder. There was his name and we wanted his signature, but Gurudev did not sign there in his name, but instead of that, on top of that document, he wrote, "All glory to Guru and Gauranga," by his hand. So when I read that, then I felt it was something different. Anyone can write anything, but there was some substance in what Gurudev wrote, and when I read that, then I felt this thing, 100% in glorifying Supreme Lord, means fully dedicated only for the service of Krishna. That full dedication to Krishna I felt in that Gurudev, he wrote, all glory to Guru and Gauranga. And Gurudev just wrote that and he smiled. So I got that teaching. So pure devotees, they are like that, fully engaged, and also they want to make us fully engaged only in the service of Krishna, not for any own purpose, selfish purpose. Srishtva mahat adini sa vikarani anukramat tebhyo virajam udhritya tam anupravishat vibhuh. After creating the total material energy, the Mahatattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it. Yam ahur adyam purusham sahasrangri uru bahukam yatra vishva ime loka savikasham ta asate. The Purusha incarnation lying on the causal ocean is called the original Purusha in the material creations. That is Mahavishnu. He's lying on causal ocean, or that is also Viraja, another name. And his Virat form, in whom all the planets and their inhabitants live, and in his Virat form, he has many thousands of legs and hands. Here, the first Purusha is Karanodakashaya Vishnu, the second Purusha is Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and the third Purusha is Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, in whom is contemplated the Virat Purusha, the gigantic form in which all the planets with their different developments and inhabitants are floating. Yasmin dosha vidah pranah sendriyarthendriyas trivrit tvayerito yato varnas tat vibhutir vadasvana. O great Brahmana, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his sense objects, and 10 kinds of life air exist with 3 kinds of life vigor. Now, if you will, kindly explain to me the different powers of the specific divisions. Yatra putreischa pautreischa nap tribih saha gotrajai praja vichitrakritaya asan yabir idam tatam. O my Lord, I think that the prowess manifest in the forms of sons, grandsons, and family members has spread all over the universe in different varieties and species. Prajapatinam sapatish chaklipte kan prajapatin sargamsh chaivanu sargamscha manun manvantara dipan. O learned Brahmana, please describe how the leader of all the demigods, namely Prajapati, Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. Please describe the Manus also, and please describe the descendants of those Manus. Just I wanted to say, it is in commentary of SRIMAD, the human race, or Manusya, descends from the Manus, sons and grandsons of Brahma. The descendants of Manu reside in all the different planets and rule all over the universe. We are all descendants of Manu, his source of mankind. Upari adhascha ye loka bhumer mitratma jasate tesham samstam pramanam cha pur lokasya cha varnaya. O son of Mitra, kindly describe, that is Maitreya, because son of Mitra, kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth as well as underneath it. And also please mention their measurement as well as that of earthly planets. Here in commentary, Jasmin Vigyate Sarvam Evam Vigyatam Bhavate. This is from Upanishad. This Vedic hymn declares emphatically that the devotee of the Lord knows everything material and spiritual in a relationship with the Lord. Devotees are not simply emotional, as is ill-conceived by certain less intelligent men. Their direction is practical. They know everything that is and all the details of the Lord's domination over the different creations. Because they see the truth as it is. That does not mean that they necessarily must know all the details of what is happening. If Krishna wants to reveal, then pure devotee can know everything, what is happening in that house. But it is not necessary that he has to know everything. But his omniscience is in the sense that he knows all the tattvas. Who is Supreme Lord, who is Jiva, all the creations, material, spiritual, how everything is controlled by Krishna. In this way, he knows everything that exists. So some people, they think, like some pure devotee, he does not know how to fix electric, some wires, so he's not omniscient. But they don't know in what sense that omniscience is there, and also they don't know that if Krishna wills, he can reveal to that pure devotee also this, how to fix wires. It is not impossible for Krishna to give him. So in any way, we should never think there is any deficiency in pure devotee. any lacking or something. No, that is not correct, never. They are properly engaged, perfectly activities, and whatever is required, it is for their service to Krishna, it is provided by Krishna. So there is no fault, no mistake. Tiryan Manusha Devanam Sari Sripa Patatrinam Vadanah Sarga Samvyuham Garba Sveda Dvijod Bhidam. Also, please describe the living beings under different classifications. Subhumans, humans, those born of the embryo, those born of perspiration, those who are twice born, that is birds, and the plants and vegetables. Kindly describe their generations and subdivisions also. Gunavatareir Vishwasya Sarga Stiti Apya Yashrayam Srijata Shrini Vasasya Vyachak Shodara Vikramam. Please also describe the incarnations of the material modes of nature, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. And please describe the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his magnanimous activities. Magnanimous means merciful, benevolent, beneficial for everyone. Varna ashram vibhagamscha rupa shila svabhavataha rishinam janma karmani vedasya cha vikarshanam. O great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. In Purana, you will find many great sages. So our Gurudev wrote their biographies, Puranic Charitamrita, because by seeing their example, one can understand what is the teaching of Puranas. And also, Gurudev wrote about the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By their example, one can understand what is the teaching of Mahaprabhu. And you get inspiration. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also told that in Upadeshamrita, Rupa Goswami says, Sato Vrite, one has to follow in the footsteps of great souls. And there he mentions that there are sadhus prior to Mahaprabhu and after Mahaprabhu, together with Mahaprabhu and after him. So it is more important for us to see the examples of those followers of Mahaprabhu and after, because they are practicing what is to be practiced now in Kali Yuga. We get that. So that is more, we should give importance on this devotees. Like tomorrow we will hear about Srivas Thakur, how he is doing bhajan in household life. Yagyasya cha vitanani yogasya cha patah prabho Naishkarmyasya cha sankyasya tantram va bhagavat smritam. Please also describe the expansions of different sacrifices and the paths of mystic powers, analytical study of knowledge and devotional service, all with their respective regulations. The point is that in all Shastras and also in Bhagavatam, many things are described about the process and all this. But what we have to apply now in this Kali Yuga is also written. So we are hearing these things, but it is not that we can or we should follow all this in the sense of form, but in principle. Principle means what is the purpose of all these sacrifices, what is the purpose of all this Shankya and what will be described. Also yoga. The purpose is to get concentration on Supreme Lord, to serve Him. That principle we have to accept. In following what is prescribed for this age by Supreme Lord, Juga Avatar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his followers. Pashanda Pata Vaishamyam Pratiloma Niveshanam Jivasya Gata Yascha Yavatir Guna Karma Ja. Please also describe the imperfections and contradictions of the faithless atheists, the situation of cross-breeding, that is pratiloma, and the movements of the living entities in various species of life according to their particular modes of nature and work. This cross-breeding here means, yes, like Brahmin with Kshatriya, like this. The combination of living entities in different modes of material nature is called crossbreeding. That is why generally it is that one has to marry in the same Varna. Brahmin with Brahmin, Kshatriya with Kshatriya, otherwise there is problem because different natures, different tendencies, and there is difficult to cooperate. And generally, yes, it will be described what is allowed exceptionally, but this is all very scientific. This, how it should be naturally, properly arranged. And also they are seeing astrology and natures and everything so that they are matching. But nowadays, mostly love marriages. In India, they say love marriage. Means they are just attracted to each other physically and they get married. That is love marriage. Now this is prominent, but it is not very beneficial for attaining the goals of human life. That proper Varna ashram and also pure devotion, that is not successful. That is only for sense gratification, and after they become tired of and the reaction comes and quarrel and like this, then they separate and find another one for same thing, sense enjoyment. This is going on. Dharmartha kama mokshanam nimitanya virodata vartaya dandanitescha shrutasya cha vidim pritak. You may also describe the non-contradictory causes of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and salvation, and also the different means of livelihood and different processes of law and order as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Everyone has to earn his livelihood according to his nature. Then that will be beneficial. Now this is also lost. everyone only calculating about how much money is where and which position is like considered as superior or lower, like this they're calculating, not according to nature, because godless. No faith in God and in Shastra, in regulations, beneficial regulations, so then everything is disturbed. Cooperation is not there, and mental and physical disturbance. If someone is Brahminical nature, if you give him some Shudra work, then that will not be, he will be disturbed. Or if you give some Shudra Brahminical work, also he cannot do. Brahmin has to study Vedas and teach Vedas, and then he's getting charity, and Shudras, they are working and they are getting payment, and like this. I think is scientific according to nature. But that is lost now in Kali Yuga, and everyone only calculating based on some other things, then so much health problems and mental problems and everything is there, because they are not naturally situated, and the goal of life is only sense enjoyment and more and more and more money. Then they are depressed and burnt out, because they think this is the only thing. They are not hearing Harikatha, they are not chanting Harinam, not doing these activities for eternal welfare, only sense enjoyment, and then so much suffering is because of that. And not engaged according to nature. Shraddhasya, and parents also, they are pressuring their children because they have some unfulfilled desires they want to fulfill through their children. So they are pushing them. You have to become lawyer, you have to become this, then, and if that child is not of that nature, then he will be forced to study law. He will become mad after some time. But only because parents, they are pressuring for their own desires, then all these disturbances in society. Previously in Vedic society, the Brahmins, bona fide Brahmins, and those elderly persons and experienced persons, they would see according to symptoms and inclination. They will test the child, and then they will engage him according to his nature, not based on their own selfishness. You know that Ruchi Pariksha is there, testing of the taste. They will give money and Shastra or different things as sweets like this, then they will see what is the tendency. And when the child will be growing up, they will see his nature and they will engage him accordingly. And there is nothing lower and higher in the sense, because all occupations are necessary in society. All have to cooperate, then it is perfect. Some is contributing this, some is contributing this, some is Vaishyas are contributing for Brahmins. Brahmins are contributing all. But now only selfishness, then you have too many people in certain field, and in certain field there is lack of people, so everything becomes disturbed just because of this greed for money and high position. But if someone would be regulated by Shastra, then everyone will be happy in society by doing their own work, contributing and getting the benefit from others, what others are contributing, they will get benefit. The Kshatriyas also, they were disturbing Brahmins due to greed. Then Parashuram, he's God himself, Shakti Abhishavatar, he had to remove those Kshatriyas because they were doing disturbance to Brahmins. Or sometimes Brahmins, now in Kali Yuga also, Brahmins, they are not real Brahmins, but they claim they are Brahmins and they oppress others like this. That is also not good. But now it is Kali Yuga, what to do? So Mahaprabhu told, you have to chant Harinam and do your job for your livelihood. What is favorable, you do that and chant Harinam, hear Bhagavatam, and go back home, back to Godhead. Different means of livelihood are here. Shraddhasya cha vidin brahman pitrinam sargam evacha graha nakshatra taranam kala vayava samstitim. Please also explain the regulations for offering respects to the forefathers, the creation of the Pitriloka, the time schedule in the planets, stars and luminaries, and their respective situations. Danasya tapasovapi ya cheshta purtayoh palam pravasa stasya yodharmo yascha pumsha utapadi. Please also describe the fruitive results of charity and penance and of digging reservoirs of water. This is good karma, to dig water, a reservoir of water. Please describe the situation of persons who are away from home and also the duty of a man in an awkward position. Yena va bhagavam stushyet dharma yonir janardana samprasidati vayesham etat akyahi me nagha. O sinless one, because the personality of Godhead, the controller of all living entities, is the father of all religion and all those who are candidates for religious activities, kindly describe how he can be completely satisfied. The actual word is dharma. Mostly it is like translated as religion, but our Gurudev gave warning that the meaning of the word religion as given in Oxford Dictionary and dharma are not same. But because there is no other word so using, but we have to have proper conception. What is dharma? What is religion? Religion in that sense, in Oxford Dictionary sense, means to worship God who is entitled to obedience, means we have to obedient to him and certain ritualistic like this. But dharma is like a duty or that which will hold the society together, which will be beneficial. Because in some religions, some violence is also prescribed, or people misunderstand certain prescriptions and they misuse it for violence. Because one time, some people came to our Gurudev in Calcutta and they told him, you are the head of Chaitanya Gauriya Math, you are propagating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's religion So we are holding one meeting here, a religious conference, where all the religion representatives will be there. So we want you please explain to them that there should be no fighting in the name of religion. Means because of religion we are fighting, we are violence because that is prescribed. So, but they use the word dharma. There should not be any fight in the name of dharma. Then Gurudev told them when he went there, they were all representative Muslim faith, Christian faith, Buddhist, Jains, others, Hindus, all different there. So Gurudev told you should not use the word dharma, because in dharma there is no any prescription for any kind of violence to anyone. So no one can claim that in the name of dharma I can commit violence to someone. It is not prescribed. And then Gurudev explained what are the basic 10 principles of dharma. That is basis of all dharma. Then there is further steps. But basis is one has to practice truthfulness, to speak the truth. So Gurudev told, if someone is speaking the truth, does he do any harm to anyone? Is it prescribed here to do any harm to anyone? No. And another is no stealing. So if someone does not steal from others, does he do any harm to anyone? No. Then shamadama, you have to control your senses and mind. So by this, by practicing this, does he do any harm? Then another is brahmacharya, to control your senses. Does he do any harm to anyone? No. There is no prescription of harming anyone in dharma. Then another is forgiveness. And 10 like basic dharmas, there is no any prescription of any violence. You will find in some religions that if someone will not submit, then you can kill to that religion, then you can kill like this. But you will not find in dharma. So Gurudev told them, you should not use this word dharma. Dharma and religion, as per that Oxford Dictionary meaning, are not same. Of course, when Sai Maharaj uses the word religion, he means proper dharma, not that type of religion. But only Gurudev gave us understanding that there may be different understandings. But it is the same thing what Buddhists consider dharma as dharma and what the Vedic scriptures describe as dharma is also not same. Word is same. They're using this word dharma as it is in Veda, but they are not following Vedic dharma. They don't believe in Veda. And also philosophy and Darshan Shastra, also according to Oxford Dictionary, philosophy meaning and Darshan Shastra or Siddhanta are not same. Philosophy is love of knowledge. Philosophia. Philo means love, Sophia means knowledge. But what kind of knowledge? Empirical knowledge, that which can be gathered by material senses and intellect, mind, and with the help of that to determine what is reality or the ultimate cause, like this, by logic and argument to arrive. But that is philosophy according to dictionary. definition. But Darshan Shastra, revealed scripture, or Siddhanta, conclusion of revealed scripture, is not at all philosophy. It is revealed knowledge. You cannot get that knowledge by means of your limited senses and intellect. Impossible. That reality is self-effulgent, self-revealing. You have to find a way how to see that truth. You cannot produce it by your mental and intellectual factory, by brainstorming and this. No, you cannot realize ultimate cause, eternal reality is already existing. You cannot produce it by your brain. So Darshan Shastra means revealed scriptures. They are of different category. That is revealed knowledge. You have to surrender and realize that truth. So words are used like that. So here what Vidur is thinking is Dharma Yonir. What is Dharma according to Supreme Lord, who is the source of all Dharma, or Vedic Dharma that is coming from Supreme Lord, or from realized pure devotee souls, what they are saying, that is Dharma. Because that question was asked by Yamaraj in the form of that bird in Mahabharata to Yudhishthir Maharaj. What is the news of this world? What is most astonishing in this world? And what path one should follow? And who is happy? These four are more important. There were 100 questions, and Yudhishthir was replying. So in replying this, which path should be followed? There it is said, Tarka Pratishtanat. You cannot know that what is the right path by logic and argument, by reasoning, by sense, no. By sense, no. That is inconclusive. Never. Always there will be quarrel and speculation and no conclusion. Then he said, what path should we follow? Mahajana Jeno Gata Sa Pantha. You have to follow that path. That path is the right path, which is given by the Mahajanas. Great personalities. It is in their heart. Who are these great personalities? 12. Brahma, Shiva, Shukadev, Prahlad, 4 Kumaras, Yamaraj, Janaka, 12 there, Bali, because they are all following Bhagavad Dharma, worship of Supreme Lord. So that path is the right path. That is revealed. You cannot arrive at that knowledge or that process by your own mental intellectual capacity. Impossible. Then he is telling, kindly describe how he, means Supreme Lord, can be completely satisfied by following Dharma prescribed by him. Anuvratanam Shishyanam Putranam Chadvijotama Anaprishtam Api Bruyur Guravo Dinavatsalah. O best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples and sons, and without being asked by them, the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge. They are actually the only one kind. because they want to rescue us from wrong activities and engage us in right activities by which we can attain what we need or want. There is like material kindness, you give food, cloth, medicine, like this. But if it is only on material platform, that will be temporary. It will not solve the problem. So real kindness is by pure devotees, because, or like they say in English, of course it is not proper example, but one point is there. You don't give them fish, you teach them how to catch the fish. Means it is not point that you give them some material necessities like this, then all the time you will have to give, and that has got no end. But you have to teach them how to act properly so that they can get everything what they need. So only to give material necessities, that will not solve their problems permanently. So those who are real kind devotees, they will teach us how we should give up these Mayic activities and engage in the service of Krishna. By that kind of action, all our necessities and desires will be fulfilled permanently. Tattvanam bhagavan stesham katidha drati sankrama tatremam ka upasiran ka usvit anu sherate. Please describe how many dissolutions there are for the elements of material nature, and who survives after the dissolutions to serve the Lord while he is asleep. Who survives? Mm. This is awaiting. So all these material plans, everything will be destroyed in one life, next life, all life, and then universal dissolution. All is futile. The only permanent solution is devotion to Krishna. Those who are devotees, they will survive. They are eternal. Of course, Atma of everyone is eternal, but they will not, they will constantly be in this Maya, in this dream-like condition and suffering again and again. But devotees, they can come out from that, and they will go beyond this material creation lila of Krishna. Of course, while they are here, they're also serving him. Wherever they are serving him. But ultimately, Krishna will take them to his abode, that is our home. Purushasya cha samstanam swarupam va parasya cha jnanam cha naigamam yat tat guru shishya prayojanam. What are the truths regarding the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Jiva Tattva, Bhagavad Tattva, and Kala Tattva, time, karma, all this. They are described in Vedanta Sutra 5 subjects, but they are described here in Bhagavatam very explicitly and nicely. What are their identities, means of Jiva and of Supreme Lord? What are the specific values in the knowledge in the Vedas? And what are the necessities for the spiritual master and his disciples? Here I will read. The living entities are constitutionally servitors of the Lord, who can accept all kinds of service from everyone, means Krishna. It is clearly declared in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord is the supreme enjoyer of the benefits of all sacrifices and penances, the proprietor of all that is manifested, and the friend of all living entities. That is his real identity. That verse is Aham hi sarvaya jnanam bhokta cha prabhur evacha. Suhrida sarva dehinam, that verse. Sai Maharaj told, if one can only accept this, then that is the real peace formula. We are having this United Nations so-called and all this for peace, no wars. Like, it is impossible. Only when one accepts this peace formula given by Krishna, Aham hi sarvaya jnana bhokta cha prabhur evacha. I am the only enjoyer of all sacrifices. I am the only proprietor of everything, and I am friend of all living entities. When one understands this, then there will be no more wars. There will be actual peace. But condition shows they don't want to accept this fact. So this world is meant. Okay, you see what you'll gain. But it is impossible to finish wars by any kind of agreement and still keeping false ego. False ego thinks I am the owner of this, and automatically for every false ego there will be some opposite enemy. If you are this country, then that country is naturally your enemy. By nature, it's attached to that false ego. So you can never stop this. Only when you come out of false ego, as Mahaprabhu awakened those animals in the forest. By nature, deer is the foot of tiger. By nature, you cannot stop that. Deer is always afraid of tiger, and tiger always wants to eat. But when they were awakened and they understood we are all eternal servants of Krishna, and he's the proprietor of it, then they were all going together in harmony. Deer kissing the tiger, tiger kissing deer, dancing, because they are awakened. So that is the only peace formula. But immediately when you are in I and mine, there will be fight. Maybe some period of peace will be there due to reaction of so much war. Then again war will happen, and then there will be some peace for some time due to being fed up with that war. Peace, and then again that will sprout again. It will go on as long as false ego is there. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj explained that if one can actually know this, that nothing can happen without the will of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. He is behind everything, and that he is Suhrid Sarva Dehinam. He is friend to all living entities. He is merciful. Then one will be free of all anxiety and fear and everything, if one can understand this point, realize this point. But as long as we have anarthas, other desires, then we are thinking this is not right, this is an disturbance. We are reaping the fruits of our own actions, and for wrong actions we are getting suffering. So that is beneficial for us, is given by Krishna. So when one will understand and he will rectify his actions, then he can be free. But that punishment is also his mercy. Like mother will slap her child out of love. to teach him what is good, what is bad. If insisting so much in bad, then she will slap, but that is out of grace. So if one can understand this, that he is actually, the Supreme Controller is actually my friend. He's my benefactor. Then he will be at peace. So that is his real identity, Krishna. He's the only enjoyer, master, proprietor. Therefore, when the living entity accepts this supreme proprietorship of the Lord and acts in that attitude, he resumes his real identity. In order to elevate the living entity to this standard of knowledge, there is the necessity of spiritual association. The bona fide spiritual master desires that his disciples know the process of rendering transcendental service to the Lord, and the disciples also know that they have to learn about the eternal relationship between God and the living entity from a self-realized soul. To disseminate transcendental knowledge, one must retire from mundane activities on the strength of enlightenment in knowledge in terms of Vedic wisdom. Vedic wisdom means revealed knowledge, what is actual truth. He realized, he is enlightened in that, and he is acting only for the service of Krishna, so he is totally retired from any mundane activities, from any mundane false ego for mundane false benefits. He is fully retired. Why? Because he is fully engaged in the service of Krishna. Such spiritual master can also teach others then about eternal relation with Krishna and how to serve. That is the sum and substance of all the questions in this verse. Tomorrow we will hear about Srivas Pandit. He is such bona fide, pure devotee, guru. In Krishna Lila, he is Narad Goswami. Narad Goswami is guru of so many in Puranas and Bhagavatam also. Dhruva, Prahlad, all are his disciples. So as Narad, he is not householder. He is mendicant, roaming here and there, like sannyasi. But in Gaur Lila, he is household devotee, but fully engaged in the service of Krishna and fully maintained by Krishna, as we will hear tomorrow.